And yes, I'm in, and by in, I mean I'm in South America. Did it. Flew into Ecuador yesterday afternoon out of Panama. I'm going to talk about Panama in a minute for the main part of the blog, but yeah, right now I'm staying in a hotel in Guayaquil, by far and away the nicest hotel that I've been on this trip. Well, I've not really been in any hotels. It's been hostels, but one of the nicest hotels I've ever been in. I'm with my mum and dad, and Rich's mum and dad, and we're both here, and we're all going to Galapagos tomorrow, so that was really cool to see them yesterday for the first time in like 5 months. Our room is ridiculous. Rich and I both got double beds, apart from the fact we unpacked all of our stuff when we arrived just because we had the space. Check out this view though. There's like a mental building outside. Hopefully that's going out. And like just a view of the waterscape. Like Guayaquil is not known for being, there's a little building site there, being like a nice city particularly. I don't think people come here on holiday, but it is the largest city in Ecuador, so it's kind of a bit of a transport hub, and it's on the coast close to Galapagos, so that's why we're here. But I will be talking about that next week. For now, I want to just do the last blog of Central America. So we spent 7 days and 7 nights in Panama. So the end of my last one, I was talking about the stuff we'd done in Costa Rica. So to get from Costa Rica to Panama, we were in Manuel Antonio, which is this Costa Rican town on the Pacific coast, and we heard that, well, we knew that there was one bus which goes once a day to the town of David, or David, if you've got a nice English accent, which is the second largest city in Panama, but not that big, but goes direct from Manuel Antonio. So we took that, which was supposed to be leaving at 10 AM, in the hope that we'd get to David in time to change buses and then go all the way straight up to the Atlantic coast to Bocas del Toro, which is a little cluster of islands on the Caribbean just off the north side of Panama. That didn't work out so well because the bus was an hour and a half late, and then it took like 2 more hours than we thought it was going to take, including like a long border crossing. But yeah, we did cross the border. Here's us going in. Yeah. So pretty cruisy bus journey, really. It was a nice big coach. So we had to spend the night in the delightful town of David. Just a little taste of it. So yeah, big dollop of sarcasm there. It's just a fairly like dirty industrial town. We managed to meet at the super busy bus station. We just met a couple of girls who were obviously also travelling around, and we asked them if they knew anywhere to stay. And they'd booked like a guest house in David because they knew they were going to stay there. So we kind of followed in their tracks down there a little bit later in the evening to a kind of really weird guest house. Nothing to report there other than the beds were kind of made out of a leather mattresses. So even though they had sheets on, they were really hot. It's as mad as I've seen Rich on the trip. He could not get to sleep. He was sweating his tits off. Oh, and we also decided to leave at like 4 in the morning, and they'd locked us in the hostel, even though we told them we were leaving. But I think I'll leave my chat around David from there. We got up and took an unbelievably uncomfortable 4-hour shuttle bus journey from David to Almirante, which is a town in the north of Panama, to Bocas. Now, Bocas is a really cool little set of these Caribbean islands. It kind of had a bit of a feel like Colca in Belize almost. There's a big sort of, again, like sort of Afro-Caribbean community, but much more heavily mixed with the kind of the Spanish and Latina side. We spent one night on the main kind of island in a really cool hostel, and we spent the day out at one of the local beaches. It rained a little bit. We heard the weather was going to be a bit rubbish. Same reason why we didn't go to the Corn Islands for a couple of weeks before. But we did get to see some kind of cool beaches. The last blog that I filmed was on one of them, and that was a nice day. I've got a couple more clips on that. So yeah, you know, I'm just almost feeling blasé about this kind of thing now, but that was quite a nice beach. But then the main thing that we did in Bocas was stay at an amazing hostel, probably my favourite hostel, I think, of the whole trip. It's called Bambuda Lodge. I've been looking around the Lonely Planet for Central America with me for the entire trip, and it barely gets opened. The internet's way better, Hostel World, Booking.com, various websites and blogs. However, there was a little piece in there about how amazing this hostel was, and it didn't let us down. It was a couple of bucks over our normal budget, but we splashed out and it was so good. It was just really cool. They had a really nice pool and a chiller area on its own private island, like looking down to the beach. A couple of photos. And what you also can't see from there is that there's a slide that goes from reception all the way down to the main into the sea. That was like really scary and dangerous. Here's one of me like bombing out the bottom. I actually hurt my neck, not on this one, but like on one of the other times I did it. But you come really fast.
I think I just fractured a rib that time. Nothing too serious. Whoa!
That just hurt. It looks so painful.
Yeah, that was.
And then for a more professional view of this, I took one of the guys who worked there at the hostel, just like running and diving down. You have to go down on those bodyboards, as you can see. So this is a pretty cool video too. Go for it. Oh wow. Nice. So that was lots of fun. On one of the days, the full days that we had there, we took a trip out to some more of the sort of the islands. Again, really cool. We saw a couple of dolphins. We saw a sloth. We did some snorkeling, and we just hung out for a couple of hours on the on this beautiful little island. Have a look at this.
Are we out to swim then?
Yeah, I think I'll put that one of Rich in there. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. The other cool thing that happened at the hostel, because I'm travelling with my guitar now, so you know, musician for hire, and basically the owner of the hostel asked me if I wanted to play a gig for them in the evening, which I did. So that was cool. I played a gig in this hostel. It went really well, and they comped all of my drinks and food for the evening, which was great. And then they got me to play again the next night too. So that was actually like quite a money saver for me playing there, and that was loads of fun. Our final day there, we had actually checked out of the hostel, but it was raining. It really rained heavily. And I'll drop in this video because this gives a nice idea of the sort of chill out area too. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes sunshine and just a shitload of rain. So have a look at this. But overall, no complaints. It was brilliant. And on the off chance anyone from Bambuda Lodge is watching this, yeah, guys, it's sick what you've got going on. Final thing, we had to get to Panama City. Flights in 2 days. We took a super long journey to get there, which was a boat in the morning from Bambuda Lodge to the main town, then another boat to the shore, then a little taxi to the bus station, then get on the bus for a 10-hour coach journey to Panama City, and then another taxi when we arrived in Panama City. But even though it was long, it was pretty cruisy. You know, we had space, got a little bit of sleep. To arrive in Panama City, let's quickly talk about that. Panama City is much bigger, or kind of certainly more developed than any of the other cities we've been to since right at the start in Mexico City. It's got a whole new big section with loads of big skylines. I've got a little video of the skyline actually. The old Panama City skyline. So, like, you know, we've not seen anything like that in terms of the skyscrapers. We actually stayed in the old town, which is kind of, we hadn't realised before, but it's like sort of the nice sort of posher area with some cool bars. So yeah, that was good. The one thing that we did, we had a full day there. We met a guy called Chris who worked at the hostel, who was like a kind of cool American surfer dude who'd been living in Panama for a while, and part of his job was just taking people on a free walk around the city. We tried to walk up to the viewpoint, and for the first time in 6 months the road was closed, so that was a bit of a letdown, but he did take us to the fish market, and we ate some amazing ceviche. It's one of the nicest things I've eaten.
Guys unload all the fish, they take it to the fish market, and the place we're going to go, they buy it in the morning, and then it takes like about 6 hours to make the ceviche. They put it in lime juice, and then it's fresh to be served.
So yeah, nothing like super crazy and like adrenaline busted in Panama City, but it was cool to see another thing. And then we headed to the airport the next morning, and that was that. We flew to Bogota, where we met Rich's mum and dad, to change for like an hour, and then flew to Guayaquil, where I met my mum and dad last night. And yeah, drawing a line under the whole of Central America. It's been great. Other than that, it's been a huge week for the Travellers 10. I picked up quite a few more. We hung out with some really cool people at the Bambuda Lodge, and got some really diverse ones. The best thing about this 10, because I've committed to listen to all of the lists at least twice, is the diversity. So you can be listening from some really like random techno music or some like cool indie music. This week on the bus on the way to Panama City, I was listening to everything from German hip hop to S Club 7, S Club Party, which I loved. So yeah, still keen to hear yours. Get them sent in. Thanks to the couple of people from back home who've done some already. And yeah, overall, I hope you're doing well. Just because I'm in a new continent doesn't mean that I will not be keeping these up, because I like them and it reminds me of what I've been doing. So big love as always. Hope you're well, and yeah, speak to you soon. Hit me up anytime. It's always nice to speak to people, and yeah, speak to you soon. Mwah.